Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey, not to 250,000. Nope, we got there thanks to you, and I am eternally grateful for helping to build this community. But to 500,000 subscribers, that's where we're going next. So make sure you subscribe, watch, rate, comment, and share with your friends, because there's a lot going on. Now, you've heard me say in the past, listen to what Trump says, because he will do it. And I know him better than anybody. When he tells you what he intends to do, just take him for his word. And remember, he told us that he was going to sign hundreds of executive orders on day one in the Oval Office. And you know what? He did. He followed through. Now, not only did he sign orders to revoke over 78 executive orders that Biden enacted while he was president, he also signed many new orders that are already changing the landscape of our country for at least the next 4+ years. And I want to start with a clip from the Capital One Arena of Trump signing an executive order withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Play that clip.
Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty.
Yeah, nothing like breathing dirty air and drinking filthy water. I mean, nothing like climate change, global warming. Oh, we can't use that word. It's climate change. Later in the Oval Office, Trump then decided he's not done. He's not done shaking things up. And again, I want to remind you, everything that he's doing right now, that you see these pundits on TV bitching and complaining about, he told you during the campaign that he was going to do it. Next, he withdrew from the World Health Organization. Play that clip.
I said, I can live with most of them. They took a very safe route. They don't have any bad ones up there.
Withdrawing from
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Ooh, it sure is. All right, look, again, how could you not expect that he was going to do that when he talked about it? You hear the applause, like, for example, the people in that Capitol Arena over Paris climate change and now over World Health Organization. Oops, this is a big one. Well, he then went on and he declares our country has a national emergency at the southern border. Play this clip.
This is a proclamation declaring a national emergency at the southern border of the United States.
That's a big one. A lot of big ones, huh? You know what that means, right?
A lot of big ones. Yep. We now have a declared presidential national emergency at the southern border. Doesn't make a difference what they're saying at the southern border. The president has spoken. Trump then goes on and he signs Doge into effect. Department of Government Efficiency. Tell you one thing, though, the way it was described to us all as a program, not anymore. Play that clip.
We want to get it done.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as Doge.
Okay, that's a big one.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented. We have a problem in this country. You sign an executive order, it doesn't get done for 6 months. As an example, when we allowed the J6 hostages to go out, it might not be approved under the old days for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months. You know, they had a good ruling from the Supreme Court, and it's like nothing happened.
When we talked about Doge, it was a program of two people, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. And it was supposed to be an advisory program to the president. If you listened carefully to that clip, not anymore, not a program, it's a department. And they're going to be hiring like 20 more people. Doesn't sound like government efficiency to me to hire 20 people for what 2 people was supposed to do. 2 people didn't make any sense if you have Elon Musk, for God's sakes, right? He also goes on to speak about the definition of birthright citizenship. And I want to be clear about this too. The United States is not the only country that has birthright citizenship. But Trump, during the campaign, promised his supporters that he will end it. And so he has. Play the clip.
Go ahead.
Sir, this next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
Okay, that's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one? That one is likely to be passed.
Could be. We think we have good grounds, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, we'll see. We have very good grounds.
I'm angry that none of the journalists turned around and said, no, sir, that's actually not true. We're not the only country that does it. And actually advise him that there are other countries, quite a few actually, that have birthright citizenship. But after signing that order, immigrant activists and advocates sued Trump, saying that the order violates the Constitution's 14th Amendment, as well as federal law that has been on the books for more than 80 years. More than 80 years. But then again, Roe versus Wade was on the books, stare decisis, for 50 years. And we saw what happened with that. And after many people voted for Trump, literally solely on his position, for example, on Israel, and after he took credit for the ceasefire deal, or part of the credit for the ceasefire deal, he was asked how confident he is that the ceasefire will last. Play that clip.
How confident are you, Mr. President, that you can keep the ceasefire in Gaza and conclude the 3 phases of this deal?
I'm not confident. That's not our war, it's their war, but I'm not confident. But I think they're very weakened on the other side.
Trump also then goes on and he speaks about how fantastic things can be done with Gaza. Play that clip.
Gaza, boy, I looked at a picture of Gaza. Gaza is like a massive demolition site. That place it's really got to be rebuilt in a different way.
Do you plan to help rebuilding Gaza?
I might. You know, Gaza is interesting. It's a phenomenal location. On the sea, best weather. You know, everything's good. It's like some beautiful things could be done with it, but it's very interesting. But some fantastic things could be done with Gaza.
How about let the Palestinians decide, right? I mean, it is actually their territory, but who am I to say anything? Trump then goes on, he brings up TikTok and says that the app is basically worthless if he, and he alone, doesn't make a deal with them. Play that clip.
Depends on the deal. I mean, I may not do the deal or I may do the deal. TikTok is worthless. Worthless if I don't approve it. It has to close. I learned that from the people that own it. If I don't do the deal, it's worthless. Worth nothing. If I do the deal, it's worth maybe $1 trillion. $1 trillion. So if I do the deal talking about doing it for the United States. If I do the deal for the United States, then I think we should get half.
The TikTok CEO.
In other words, I think the U.S. should be entitled to get half of TikTok. And congratulations, TikTok has a good partner. And that would be worth, could be $500 billion or something. It's crazy. The numbers are crazy. But it's worthless if the president doesn't sign, then it's worthless. If the president does sign, it's worth maybe $1 trillion. So I think, like a joint venture, I think we would have a joint venture with the people from TikTok. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's one of many ideas I've had.
Yeah. Look, there's 177 million Americans. Trump's not wrong here. TikTok or ByteDance is worthless if it got shut down. We saw how Americans were going nuts when TikTok went down for 24 hours. Now, is America going to become a partner with them? Is Trump going to end up taking a little piece for himself? I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But if I know Trump as I do, this isn't about the United States. Now, lastly, I want to show you a clip of Trump talking about Spain being what's called a BRICS nation. It is not. BRICS, of course, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It also includes Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. They too are, of course, part of BRICS, the BRICS nations, which is technically a counterpart to the G7. Why he was talking about it, I don't know. Play this clip.
Thank you, sir.
What can we expect of the countries in NATO that spend the least amount of money, like Spain, France, below the 5%?
Spain is very low. And yet, are they a BRICS nation?
What?
They're a BRICS nation, Spain.
Okay.
You know what a BRICS nation is? Well, you'll figure it out. But, and if the BRICS nations want to do that, that's okay, but we're going to put at least a 100% tariff on the business they do with the United States. You know what the BRICS is, right? You guys know.
Brazil,
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Once again, I still can't figure that out. And by the way, if that just means that they have to pony up more money, sure. There's not an American that's going to turn around and say that this is wrong. But then again, we're all supposed to be allies, not adversaries. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.